Well, hello everybody. I am JayLeonardJ, and today we are looking at my 2011 custom shop Fender Telecaster. Of all the videos you have ever asked me to make, by far the most requested video is a video on this, my 2011 Bigsby Telecaster. You know what? If you know me as a YouTuber, chances are this is the guitar you most associate with me. I used it on my very first YouTube video, and I use it all the way up until today. I've had a couple guitars come in and out, but this is the one that's always been consistent throughout the page. A little piece of my heart, this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful guitar. And today I'm going to tell you a little bit of its story and a little bit of what mods I've done to it, what's changed, and maybe also clarify some of the rumors and stuff about this guitar. So to start off, if you asked me what my favorite guitar in my collection is, and what the guitar that I've had the most personal success with, I would actually say this. I would say it's this one here. This is my favorite guitar. This is a 1968 Fender Telecaster. I've had this is an original, and I've had it, oh my gosh, a long time. Ever since right around the end of college. If you know me from my days as a guitar player for all those pop singers in Hong Kong, this is probably what you think I play all the time. But what happened was, in about 2011, I did a show in Las Vegas. I think it was at like Caesar's Palace Coliseum or the Bellagio or something like that. It was a big showcase. The airplane lost my gear, and I was without my acoustic and everything. And at the time, this was my only touring guitar. And when I got back, my wife, or who was my girlfriend at the time, said, "You know what? You're not traveling with this guitar anymore. This guitar needs to be retired, because if this ever gets broken on a flight or goes missing, I would never forgive myself." And so I retired this guitar, pretty much. Only use it on special occasions. And went on a search to find a brand new guitar. And the first guitar I got was a Lake Placid Blue guitar. I've always wanted a Lake Placid Blue Tele ever since I was a little boy. I was Rufus Guitar Shop is where I took guitar lessons, and they had this Lake Placid Blue Tele on the wall, and I always wanted it. So I said, if I ever get a custom guitar, it's going to be Lake Placid Blue. So I bought a Lake Placid Blue, or ordered one from the Fender Custom Shop, and it came in, and I immediately didn't like it. And then I bought another Lake Placid Custom Shop Telecaster, and it was better. These custom shop guitars though had no Bigsby on it. It was like the standard like 3 saddle ones. And the second one, it was much better, but I still just couldn't connect with it. And I very quickly realized, you know what? I just want a Bigsby Tele. There's a feel to them. There's a sound to them. They don't get the ice pick on the top. They're just softer, smoother, more slinky to play. Just for me, it's my favorite kind of style, the Bigsby Tele, or maybe a top-loading Tele, like a late 50s thing. Those are really what spoke to me. So I found this online. I bought a guitar online. Only guitar I ever bought online. I bought this because it was it was 2011, and Fender just released a custom shop limited edition series of 1967 Telecasters. So these are modeled after a 67 Tele, and I was looking at something to replace my 68, and they were made out of the same wood. It had the maple cap neck. It had the Bigsby on it, and it was Lake Placid blue. So it was like the perfect. It was like Kismet. So I ordered it immediately, came in, sat on my lap, did a couple strums. And it was my guitar ever since. My 1967 copy guitar, 2011 custom shop. It actually has the limited edition plate. They actually made a couple of these, so if you scour the internet, you might actually be able to find a guitar just like this one, and I'll tell you how to modify it. Let me think here. A lot of people ask me how relict this guitar was. It actually wasn't brand new shiny, but it wasn't nearly as relict as this. So there was a very, very light relicing. In fact, I think it was more about fading the color and adding a little of the check marks. If you watch the Wildwood video or the Fender Custom Shop video on this guitar, you'll actually see exactly how much of a difference there is in the wear. None of this was there. None of this was there. This was not there. this back stuff was not there. There was a little bit of wear on the frets, but not nearly all the way up to here like it is now. And there was finish on the back. It was sticky on the back. Definitely no more finish back there anymore. I'm just an aggressive player, I guess. Oh, I love this guitar. Very, very wonderful. Some mods that I have done to this guitar over the years. I have switched the control plate upside down. I do that on all my guitars, actually. You see that? It's upside down, just so I get better access to the volume knob. Same thing with the tone pod. I can do the wah stuff here. This is near the bottom. It's actually very easy to access it too. Especially when the plate's the other way around, the Bigsby gets in the way of the knob, so this really helps a lot. I have it wired in the Fez Parka style, which changes the role of the tone knob. But the positive thing about it is when I turn down the volume, I don't lose high end, and I don't even need a treble bleed circuit. It actually does it in a more natural way, and it has a nice interactive relationship with the tone pot, which helps a lot as well. I put the Strat tip on here because Tele tips always fly into the audience. This one doesn't. And it gives me a little bit of space right here in this pocket. Makes things a lot easier to play. Put electro socket jack here because I think all Tele should be wired that way. And I have also put a Vibramate string spoiler on the Bigsby. And all this does is it makes it easier to restring the guitar. As opposed to kind of wrapping the string around and getting it in that little peg. So if you are a string breaker on stage, highly recommend this, the Vibramate string spoiler. Great purchase. I put a Mastery bridge on the bridge. Every Tele with a Bigsby, every Jazzmaster, every Jaguar, needs to have a Mastery bridge. It just adds sustain, it adds stability, it helps with the intonation, it's less finicky, it's just overall better. You might, disagree with me. Like some people like the plinky sound that you get with a Jazzmaster bridge, but I like the sustain, I like the feel. I don't know. This is just the way you have to do it. And you could still use the Bigsby. It doesn't rock back and forth, but it keeps tune and it's nice and lovely and wonderful. Oh, I love Bigsby. I put some locking tuners here. These are the Goto tuners. I actually very rarely see these kinds. There's the tuning thumb key here, but they look like the vintage style tuners from the front. I put a Graphtec Tusk string tree to prevent the the catching. So my tuning stability is a little bit better. And I very recently refret it with medium jumbos. I like medium jumbo frets because the tall frets, sometimes I get caught, my fingers get caught when I'm moving up and down. But with the medium jumbos, it's a little bit lower, so I can just smoothly go up and down while having enough girth to bend and not fret out. Originally, this guitar came with a twisted Tele neck and what was the thing here? I think it was like a hot-rodded broadcaster-style bridge pickup. And now, I don't want to upset you, but I'm not a fan of the twisted Tele pickup. It's just not really my thing. I like a little bit more girth out of my Tele neck. And the broadcaster was just too fat for me. Maybe if you're just like a hard rocker, maybe you'll like it more, but it wasn't quite my sound. I put some Virgil Arlo pickups in here, which is a company based out of California. It's one guy, winds them by hand, and they sound fantastic. Nice and lovely here. So it gains up very, very nice. It could be really clean and twangy. So it does all the good stuff. It's a little bit softer of a sound. It's not super loud. It's nice and smooth. I really, really like it. It fits my sound very, very well. Very, very different sound than my 68, but it's more of what the vintage kind of tweaked sound for the modern player sounds like. So they worked very, 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 very well for me. But yeah, I guess in a nutshell, I'm just trying to think of any other questions I've got. People ask me what my thoughts are on relic guitars. I'm hot and cold on it. My problem with relic guitars is if they're over relicked, they have to be worn in the same place that I would wear a relic guitar, or it would never feel like my guitar. Because, I have a very unique way of playing, so you can see I have no finish here. And all my guitar, my other guitars has the same kind of wear. Up here, from my string, the kind of belts that I wear, the kind of frets that I wear out when I play. Sometimes if I'm playing a relic guitar and I'm not seeing the fret wear in the right place, it just doesn't feel like my guitar. So, and that is it. That is pretty much all I have to say about this guitar. This is a wonderful piece of equipment. I love it. I'm not getting rid of it anytime soon, especially with these brand new frets on it. Feels fantastic. This is my custom shop Tele. Thank you so much for watching. If subscribe to the page if you haven't. If you're interested in my reviews on demos and stuff like that, I do my reviews for pedals on Patreon, and I do my demos and tutorial stuff on YouTube. So check out my Patreon account and as well my affiliate links. My question for all of you out there today is, what is the most cherished guitar in your guitar collection? That being said, I guess I will see you all soon. Take care and goodbye.